So let's talk about different types of debt weapons, and then ultimately, what do you feel like the perfect debt weapons for 2022 are going to be? So maybe list off a handful that people may or may not be familiar with, and then if you don't mind kind of sharing a handful of your favorites.
Yeah, sure. So three that come to mind are from the line of credit family. So you've got a PLOC, which is a personal line of credit. You have a BLOC, which is a business line of credit, and you have a HELOC, which is a home equity line of credit. Most folks are familiar with that terminology, but essentially it's just a line of credit that's revolving over X amount of years that you can take out and use, and you can pay it off, and you can continue to revolve that debt. And so I really like the business ones because they are sheltered in the business. They stay off of your personal utilization, so you can leverage it out without it really impacting your personal credit. And so a couple examples, I really like to target, and this is some good information here. I'm glad you asked the question. So I really like to target the $50,000 business line of credit. And that's the reason why, is because usually it's no documentation or very low documentation. So you're not having to provide full financials, tax returns, K-1s, right? Because we're trying to avoid more documentation. So I really like that sweet spot's really that 50K, maybe 75,000. And a lot of smaller banks will offer that, and you stand a much greater chance of getting approved. And why go for the full meal when you can just get a nibble and then go back for seconds later? And so that's kind of my strategy with clients, is giving them that $50,000 line and then coming back later, and we can increase it on down the road. So recently, I'm the one where in the background, I love to apply for these debt weapons, and then I can recommend or not recommend them to my clients. And so in full transparency, that even the leverage guy gets denied sometimes, and I'm going to share that with you guys. Yeah. So I applied for 5 lines of credit, some personal and 1 business, and I got approved for 3 out of the 5 lines of credit. So the good news is I got a little over $100,000 in extra lines of credit, extra debt weapons. So that was good. The reason I got denied for the other 2 is because I had too much available credit. And so the banks and the underwriting, they see that Chris or Michael has all this credit, even if it's paid off and full 800 credit score. Well, their question is, why do you need more credit? And I knew that going in. I knew that there may be a chance that they would ask questions or not approve me, but it's okay, because again, I got 3 out of 5 and added $100,000 to my bottom line.
They didn't know that you were credit hoarding, did they?
They
caught on to you trying to credit hoard.
credit hoarding and gardening. Yes.
Right. Interests, credit hoarding. So as we talk about here often on the channel, guys, protecting your credit is of the utmost importance. You cannot leverage it if you do not have good credit. So there's obviously some downsides of applying for too many debt weapons. There's a science to it, which is why we never recommend, without doing research or following the guidance of an expert like Chris or his team, going out there and just trying to go it alone. You can make some fatal flaws that take a long time to recover from. Chris, talk about some of the perils and pitfalls of utilizing debt weapons. How do you do it the wrong way if you don't have the right advice and guidance? And what could be the negative outcomes of that?
Yeah, absolutely. So you're playing with the bank's money, you're playing with credit, and it can be very dangerous. And if you're not smart and strategic about it, if you're reckless, then it can get you into a whole lot of trouble. I mean, we've all been guilty of overspending and doing irresponsible things with credit. So I'm glad you brought that up, because it sounds like we just go out and recklessly get credit, and it can be, definitely not true. We strategically get debt weapons. I'm then going to tie it to a physical asset or even a digital asset, and I'm going to have an exit strategy. And I know when the house is going to sell, even if it's delayed or it takes longer, it's tied to something that I know is going to have an end result very soon. So we're very strategic. We're very intentional with the type of credit that we're getting. And the last thing I would ever recommend people do is to get a debt weapon and not have a place for it to go, because that's not what we're here to do. We're here to implement it quickly and timely. We're here to get a return, and we're here to pay it off and move on to the next thing, because that's also going to show the banks that you're responsible enough to take out a $25,000, $50,000 debt weapon, you can reasonably pay it off within 6 months. Now you have data points and you're building that a good relationship with them, and they're going to continue to reward you with more and more credit.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. It's just about being responsible with your credit there, obviously. So just to be clear, it's not, you're not having people just, get a stack of credit card applications and just, let it rip, throw the spaghetti against the wall and just see what sticks. And, the next thing they know, they've got 16 inquiries on their credit. That is not your model, correct?
That's not a model. And, if, I've got some credit here that I've been using, I've got a binder full of credit and an 800 score, and there's no way that I could get to where I'm at today if I used it irresponsibly. So I want you to know that we're, the highest morals and ethicals, and we want you to be responsible with it and, just make a good return, a good, safe return.
If you don't mind sharing, and not asking you to necessarily give away the secret sauce, rattle off maybe just a couple, that you found that have been very friendly as far as, people being able to get them, relatively easy without the documentation that you talked about. Are there a couple that really kind of come to mind that you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, so I've got relationships with a lot of the big banks. So from Wells Fargo, Bank of America, to kind of the mid-tier banks, PNC, Regions Bank, and down to the lower level credit unions. I've got debt weapons with all of them. And, I recommend, step one would be, reach out to your banks that you have an existing relationship with. Go online, type, whether you love or don't like Wells Fargo, I have 2 debt weapons with them, right? So it's a win for me. So go online and pull up Wells Fargo or the bank that you're with and see what kind of business products that they have. And then from there, I would go and talk to a banking rep. And in our course Friday, I'm actually going to film me locating banks, interviewing bankers, and then applying for it. I'm going to walk everyone through the process, but that's how I would do it. Start there. Start with in your backyard with your local banks that you have relationships with, and just start doing a little bit of research. But that's how I've been able to find them.
That's a great tip, guys. Obviously you can go out there and try and do as much implementation on your own, do your research. We're always going to advocate for that. Tell us about your virtual event you've got coming up here, Chris. So what you do is you have folks that are really trying to learn these trade secrets from you and your team. They're able to do so online. What's that process look like? Kind of talk about maybe what that day looks like. It's a day-long event, correct? And then give me some details on that if you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, so it's Friday, January 14th, and it's from 10 a.m. to about 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern time. It is virtual, so you can literally do it from your living room or your office. You don't have to travel anywhere. And it's going to be an exciting day. So we're going to be splitting the day, 2 hours of real estate discussion and teaching, as well as 2 hours of credit funding and leverage. I've got literally 30 slides. I'm going to drown you in so much tips, secrets, and information that, it's going to be a fantastic event. I'm going to over deliver as much as I can. But for 2 hours, we're going to be talking about, how to get credit and then how to properly leverage it. I'm going to share all of the secrets for me. One of the ones I'm going to do is we're going to talk about American Express and how I got, 3 cards over the weekend with just a soft pull in my new business. I got a platinum business card that's 0% APR.
Move your finger. I didn't see the number.
Yeah. 26993. And, American Express I've got 4 slides on that. It's an absolute game changer. Literally can help you save thousands of dollars in interest. And so I'm going to teach folks how to do all this. And we're excited. So it's Friday. We've got a couple of spots available. It's virtual. Reach out if you have any questions. I'm definitely not trying to sell you on anything. I love credit. Usually what you're weird at is your superpower. I feel like this is my superpower, and I want to put it out to the world, and I want to help you guys because it's helped me so much. Yeah,
and you kind of said something interesting there. You said, you do only have a couple slots left, and I talked to one of your students that said the exact same thing, and I said, "Well, it's a virtual event," and he said, "Yeah, but if there's ongoing and live Q&A, and they want to keep it to a small kind of intimate group so that everyone gets that attention." I thought that was really cool. You know, you guys have not just taken that and trying to fill it up with the masses and thousands of people, and no one gets that kind of direct interaction and kind of personal touch. So I really do applaud you guys on that. You guys, if you want to hear more from Leverage Guy and his team, you're interested in potentially joining his virtual event, which is coming up just around the corner. It's January 14th. Go ahead and email leverageguy@vipfinancialeducation.com. That's leverageguy@vipfinancialeducation.com. Go ahead and smash that thumbs up button below if you want more content like this. You want us to continue to bring Chris's smiling face on the channel with his wealth of knowledge, guys. And I don't say that lightly. I've been in the game for a long time. I've been in the financial services industry and real estate for a long time. Chris is as good as it gets. He would not be on the channel if we thought otherwise. Chris, kind of parting shots. Who would this not be a fit for? Who should not attend your event? You know, as we talked about that 700 threshold and utilization, is there some kind of a point where, you know, they're kind of too far off from being able to get there, and, you know, they've got a lot of work to do before they get to that point? And what recommendations would you give to those folks? We talked about, you know, kind of a quick fix to maybe bump your score up, maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 points. What if someone's 100 points away right now? How do they get the wheels moving?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think knowledge is priceless. So just by genuinely having a desire to be there and learn is important. You know, being a prior VIP student, I didn't have an 800 credit score when I started with you guys. It was much lower, and I had to work hard to improve it. So I saw the kind of where we were going through my coach, and it took several months. It took years to build and repair my credit. So I've been there. I totally understand what it's like to have a, you know, subpar credit score. And so, you know, I can help you with, you know, credit repair. I can refer you to someone who needs help. I do it every day. I have people reach out to me every single day that say, "Hey, I love what you're doing. I'm just not ready for this. I'm not ready to implement it." And I said, "Well, okay, fair enough. But if you don't fix it, if we don't do something about it now, you're never going to be ready. So step one, situational awareness. Step two, let's talk to the right people and implement a game plan. And then step three, you and I are going to crush it together. But it starts with situational awareness, and let's get you linked in with someone who can help you repair your credit. I can personally recommend you to a personal friend of mine who can help you. But the knowledge that's going to be shared is, I mean, that's priceless. There's so much good information that, you know, you're going to be able to implement, whether it's today, tomorrow, or next year. Understand, I've been there. I know what it's like to struggle with credit, and I've paid dearly for it. And so I want to share that with you guys and let you know you're not alone. Credit is very confusing. It's a lot of good and bad information out there. You know, rely on you know, this channel, Michael and myself, to help guide you guys. That, you know, you're tapping into years and thousands of hours of experience, and that's what we're here to do, is help you navigate the banking waters.
No, I appreciate that, Chris. Yeah, guys, he's given us a special deal on the virtual training. It's normally sold for $1,000. Our VIP members, Chris was gracious enough, he and his team, to do it for $695. Guys, $695 for this type of education is a no-brainer. To go out and leverage credit to get $10, $15, $50, $100,000 plus, simply by leveraging your credit and utilizing these debt weapons, either on a personal level or on a business level. It's priceless information. So $695, Chris, we appreciate that concession on here for our audience. We'd love to bring you back on here. We have gotten tremendous feedback. I've got a gentleman that has gone through your course very successfully that we're going to have coming up here shortly. And we're going to continue to bring you on, and we're going to continue to bring on folks that have success stories. We're always going to give the good and the bad, the ugly to our audience. And as always, guys, go out there and do your own research. We're going to do a lot of it on your behalf. We're going to continue to bring experts here on the channel, but we certainly want you to go out there and do your own digging. That being said, Chris, thanks for joining us. Guys, thank you for joining us here on the VIP Financial Education YouTube channel. If you're a subscriber already, thanks for coming back. If you're not, go ahead and subscribe. We bring content like this on here all the time, and hit that bell notification below when you want the heads up from VIP Financial Education as we're bringing this content on the channel. Until next time, guys, take care and make it a great day.
Hey guys, I'm Vince Dawkins. I'm at the Credit Mastermind with Chris Lamb and Dan Rivers, and it's been amazing and it's been a great time. I just want to thank them for putting this together. I'm still getting into the groove, sort of new to real estate investing. I've had some success, but at the same time, I found out that I've been doing this the hard way. Instead of leveraging my credit and my debt weapons, I've been using my own capital, and that's going to change. So I see myself leveling up, my business leveling up, and I just thank these guys for taking the time and putting this together.
Hey everyone, this is Minion May here at the Business Credit Mastermind with Christopher Lamb and Dan Rivers, and let me tell you, they gave out some real information. The people in the room, very attentive, lots of nuggets for the business credit and how to really leverage other people's money. Most of us probably doing it the wrong way. They really showed us the right way. I will be back when they do it again.